Yes, people, welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. You join us for the match preview of West Ham United versus Brighton. 2 games a week are swiftly heading back West Ham's way, of course, after our FA Cup disappointment up at Old Trafford last night. The Hammers will look to bounce back as we head to Brighton, where we never win. I hope you are all well. Just 24 hours later from pre-match talking about that Manchester United game. Gary, how are you?
Yeah, good. It was a bit of a shame last night, but couldn't hang on. But there we go. Brighton Saturday, next game, move on.
Exactly. That's just what we've got to do. Just a quick word on it now. I mean, I thought we were quite comfortable for 70 minutes, and the wheels started to fall off. As soon as their goal was disallowed, I sort of went, this is only going one way here. And they scored 1, and all of a sudden they scored 3. It was disappointing to see, Gary, but I thought we put up a very good fight.
Yeah, I think Joe Cole summed it up nicely. I thought we were better between the boxes, but the errors, I mean, Aguero had a shocking 20 minutes, and unfortunately for him. And Antonio obviously missed a tremendous chance in the first half. In the second half, if he squared it, Benrahma had a tap in. And it's just one of those things, if you go to United and they get head of steam up and they bring on Rashford and bring on Casemiro, you're going to struggle to hang on. And that's what happened, unfortunately. I think 3-1 is not a fair reflection of the game at all.
Yeah, fair enough. I think, going into it, it was going to be incredibly difficult to hold on. Once they got it to 1-1, I just sort of said, we can't defend for the rest of this and then expect to go into extra time and do the same for another half hour. So it was going to give eventually. And very much unlike Gerd so far in his West Ham career. I thought he was awful last night, to be honest, and every single goal you could probably attribute a mistake to him. I mean, the own goal, not too much, but I think he hit the second one, and there was a third one that he gave it away for as well. So that's frustrating, but Moyes sort of backed him up and gave him some credit in the post-match press conference. So yeah, we just got to look at it and go, we did okay, and we can move on now and focus on this game. I see we've got in the chat, Peter. Hope you are well, Chris. Hope you're well, mate. Peter says the minute they equalised, it was game up. Yeah, I sort of felt there was, they were always going to take the lead once they equalised. So, Chris says Antonio 2 chances, 0 for 2 team game, but that was a smoking gun of why we didn't advance. Yeah, many people have criticised Antonio, and I went livid at him last night. How on earth a striker in the Premier League misses 2 one-on-one chances? It just absolutely infuriated me, especially the first one, because everybody in that stadium knew we weren't going to score it.
Yeah, I think the first one, I mean, he's a right-footed player and he's running down the right-hand side. So for him, it's difficult. He's got either to take it early to catch the keeper out, or he's got to move it to his left-hand side, which he's not going to do, and finish his left foot. So the fact, as soon as he got too close to De Gea, it was obviously he was going to miss that. The second one, I don't think it was a one-on-one, really. He should have squared it. The best ball was the option again, but that's just Antonio. He lacks the football intelligence sometimes to do the right thing. But then if he had the finishing and the football intelligence, he wouldn't be at West Ham. He'd be £100 million player somewhere else. But he is what he is. We get him good weeks, and he gets, unfortunately, lots of bad weeks, like yesterday.
Exactly. So our opponents for Saturday, then Brighton and Hove Albion. We all know about the curse we've got there. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12 meetings since West Ham United last beat Brighton, and that came on the 14th of April 2012, where we resoundingly beat Brighton 6-0 in the Championship. Before then, we beat them 3 games in a trot, on the trot, away from home, and in the FA Cup. But since then, it's been pretty bleak reading, just picking up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draws and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in the other games. It's the worst kept secret that we're crap against Brighton, and we've just got to try and change it Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be our bogey team. I mean, I've been to most of the last 11 games. To be fair, we have it in the Premier League. The one we lost earlier in the season 2-0, they beat us very comfortably. And last season, I think you went down, Jake, and it was 3-1. Antonio scored in the first half, and the second half he just collapsed. Yeah. And then I went down, saw 1-1 draw, we were ahead, and I saw 1-1 at home, and when Mope equalised in the last minute. So, the stats say one thing, but I'm not a big believer in bogey teams. I think we just need to play well, and we can get a result.
Yeah.
It's it's 11-11 at the end of the day. It's a mental attitude now, how you set up.
Yeah. We're all going to talk about it, Brighton bogey team, but that shouldn't be nowhere near the players. It's just another game. Not worrying about the record we've got with them in the past. Teams have gone and got points on the Brighton side, and we'll talk about them more, a little bit later on. But they're a good side. But teams have gone and they've set up the way David Moyes will probably set up. They've gone down there to get the point, and they've got it. And I just do wonder whether Moyes has seen that. I think Fulham went there and just parked the bus and got a point out of them, and maybe that's the way to go. And Moyes might be highlighting and looking at that over the next few days, and maybe trying to convey those tactics. But before we carry on, the more observant of you would have noticed we're at 4,000 subscribers today. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for your support. Going from 3,000 to 4,000, we've done it extremely quickly, and the channel was thriving. So thank you very much, everybody, for your support. We've now at 4,000. Next up, 5,000, Gary.
Absolutely, comes after 4, Jake.
It does. So thank you very much indeed, everybody, for your support, and we will.
No, you don't. Seriously, you've done really well, Jake. So keep it going. Content's always good, always on time, always something interesting to watch. So let's keep it going.
Thank you very much. I like the always on time bit. I like that.
You are. You say 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock's there. That's right.
Exactly. We don't hang about. Anyway, let's take some more of your comments then. Fantastic away day support as always. Now there's been big uproar about people not happy that we've been singing the massive chant again, but you heard it clearly on the telly, and the fans were amazing last night. So you got to say just a massive credit to them. Many of them getting home 3, 4, 5 a.m. And that's just absolutely brilliant. So full credit to the fans that went up there last night. Max, evening, hope you are well, my friend. Lawrence as well. Let's scroll down where Shame Antonio can't chip, but not being a striker doesn't help. June Swift says was at the game last night. Support was unreal. United were flat for most of the game. Needed to take our chances. Wasn't a good day. Yeah, bang on the money. Peter says Moyes will resort to type and play for a draw on Saturday. I do get that sense, especially teams have gone there and done that over the last couple of months. I think that's just a big invitation for him to go and do that. But who knows? He might set up attackingly. Robert, evening. Hope you met West Ham to win 1-0, says Lawrence. Well done, Robert. Let's have a look here. Peter says, defending in the last 15 minutes made me think I was watching the Keystone Cops. You won't understand that, Jake. No, not a clue. Not a clue. Thank you very much, Robert, Lawrence, and Peter there as well. Next up, match of the day, alongside Gary Lineker or replacing replacing Gary Lineker.
He's got a massive tax bill to sort out, Jake, so you could be replacing him.
In terms of the tactics that Moyes might play out, do you think if he goes down there like he has in the last couple of games and attack, do you think this Roberto De Zerbi side could just play us off the park? Do you think a more defensive option is probably the way or not?
No, like I said, Jake, last night I thought we played really well. We attacked, we had flat back 4. I must say Emerson surprised me. He was a lot better at left back than I thought he'd be. Yeah. He played well. I had my doubts before the game, so credit where credit's due. I think Souček's back in form. And you think we went to Old Trafford, mate, and we had 7 shots on target. So that's not bad. And if we play that against Brighton, we'll score 1 or 2. And it's just a question of, I can't believe that Guerrero plays badly as he did last night again, and that means we can hopefully get something. Like I said, if he sets up 2 defensively, like the old days, we'll lose because our away record this season has been absolutely shocking. Absolutely got 6 points all season. That's because he sets up 2 defensively. So hopefully he's learned the lesson. Last night I was quite encouraged, apart from the result at the end.
Yeah, and I think you sort of raised a valid point there that if we go down with the same sort of team, which I'd expect, and I honestly think if we had Ings up top and not Antonio, we're 3-0 up and cruising on the hour mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So if we could just make those couple of changes, obviously enforced with Danny Ings being cup tied, and if Ings was available, I think we win that quite easily last night. And the sort of chat between all bases is completely and massively different. So if we could put Ings in there, a couple of tweaks, and we play the same way, I think we can easily get a point out of them because they're a very good side. I commend how well they're playing brilliant football down there. But I spoken to some Brighton fans and said, if you come down and if you're defensively sound and you do set up, and you're hard to break down, the chances you'll probably get a point out of us because we won't break you down. I've just got a feeling that's what Moyes might do, but I think we can go and get all three if we play with the same spirit and the same fight as we did last night, Gary, which we haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Ben Ryan was excellent last night. I mean, he's very hot and cold, Ben Ryan, but he's certainly very, very good last night. Took his goal fantastically. So he's on form. Bowen didn't play last night, apart from the last 10 minutes or whatever. So he should be fresh. Yeah, Ings will be fresh. So we've got three players either fresh or in form. Skamaka tentatively came back last night, so hopefully he's going to be available. I thought Fornals was good as well. I'd probably keep him in the team. Thought he did well. And Paqueta is playing really well. So going forward, we're looking all right. Like I said to you, Jake, Emerson surprised me. He really did. So we keep him at left back. I think Fab's going to be out, it sounds like, with his eye sockets. So you have Aria in goal. So I'll keep Ben at right back, Emerson at left back. I'll give Aguero and O'Connor another chance. I don't know where Zuma is, Jake. Do you know?
I'm not sure. Peter says news now saying Zuma's not available. We'll get a bigger picture when Moyes does his press conference tomorrow lunchtime. But I'd be surprised if Zuma's back, to be honest. I don't know. I think he's a good few weeks away yet. So yeah, that's the sort of back line I'd be expecting and happy with what you said there, Gary. And Rice and Paqueta are starting to click, as Dad says here as well. They're building a good partnership. And to be fair, I thought Souček was one of our better players last night.
Yeah, because it seems to me we've gone back to how we were 2 or 3 seasons ago with Souček going forward and Rice sitting back. Because I think Souček's much more effective when he gets in the box because he's a big lump and he scares people. So when he asks him to sit back so Declan can go forward, it just doesn't have the same dynamic. I think Declan is one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. If he sits back and leaves Thomas to go forward and Paqueta have a free role, I think we've got a good chance.
And especially as well, because, especially in the first half, I was urging the team to get up and press them because we were giving them a bit too much time on the ball for my liking. And Souček was running past Antonio to go and press them because Antonio was just doing his, little wander around and he was pressing them. He was putting the work in. And I was really, really, really impressed with Souček last night. And that's definitely his role because you can't play him in a deeper role because he just sort of dawdles round and treads water and he's not good enough on the ball and he's not effective enough defensively to be playing in that position. So I think it benefits everybody if he plays that a bit further forward, bringing us up the pitch a bit more. And hopefully that's the sort of midfield system we see going forward. Creswell will probably play against Lasagna next Thursday. It's just all about the rotation then. So yeah, I could see that. But in terms of a Brighton side, obviously they have lost some key players over the last couple of seasons, of course, gone to Chelsea and Arsenal, Trossard and Correa, etc., etc. You still can't deny what a good side they are. I think they're sat in the top half of the table, Gary. They're a good side.
They are a good side, and they've got this Moses Caicedo. They picked up cheap from Ecuador, and now he's worth 50 million apparently. They've got the World Cup winner in McAllister. And they picked up this young lad from Coleraine, I think it was. He's 18, Ferguson up front. He seems to be attracting all the attention. And they've got Lewis Dunk at the back, who's always been very reliable. They've got a good keeper, and they've got March, who sees all of a sudden to find his goal scoring boots. So, and they've got Danny Welbeck. So they've got, you look at the team and you think, they've got an excellent scout system down there. It's incredible how they do it. They buy these players cheap and sell them off for fortunes and find someone else, which is a risky model, but it works. I mean, Southampton did it for years, obviously, with Baird and Walcott. Eventually, they'll run out of talent to supply. That's the weakness of the model. But at the moment, fair play to them. Yeah.
What's your sort of hope going down, obviously, with the bogey thing and going down to Brighton? What's your, have you got a realistic big hope that we can go and at least get a point off of them after seeing that performance last night?
Definitely. Like I said to you earlier, Jake, I'm not a big believer in the bogey because if you go through those last 11 games, I can guarantee there's not the same 11 versus the same 11 in any game. So it's just different changes and it's just the way it goes. We've got different managers in all those 11 fixtures, most of them, different players. We've had a bit of bad luck against them. So I think it's mental attitude. We've got some good players who are in form, like Paqueta, Souček's coming into form, Danny Ings. I think we've got a chance. I'm going down positively. I know we're going, and we're going to travel with confidence, so it'll be good.
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, let's hope when we do make that trip down there that Moyes sort of opts for the same sort of mindset, same tactics, makes those couple of tweaks we've talked about in terms of changes. And then I do think if we play the same way, which there is going to start to be a little bit of fatigue and tiredness creeping in as we do enter the 2 games a week, and especially now with Europe coming back over the next couple of weeks as well, that's bound to happen. But I do think if we could put in a similar performance, Brighton aren't as good as Man United, as on form as Man United are. I know that was more of their reserves team, but we still went to Old Trafford and still worried them for 70 odd minutes. So
yeah, we could have won that as we touched on. And the thing to remember also, Jake, is after March the 16th, we haven't got a game till April. So we've got 2 European Cup games, European Conference League games, and 2 league games. So I say to the players, look, I know you're tired. You've got 4 games. You're going to play a lot of games, and then you can have a week off. I don't know what Moisey wants to do, but a few days off, and then not back to April the 2nd, I think it is. So, the lads just really go for it next 4 games. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit dismissive of the Cypriot team, but I can't imagine they're brilliant. So we should be able to beat them with a bit of rotation and concentrate on the Brighton game and the Villa game next weekend.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. He's got to get this sort of rotation mix right of how seriously he's going to take this Cypriot side, Lanaka. And obviously we'll get a guide in the first leg, which will adapt his sort of choices in the second leg. But with full focus on this, I think he's got to go for his most full strength 11 that he deems is fit enough and good enough to start and hopefully get us to win. Let's move on to some predictions, and I'll go first, and I'm going to creep in with the Brighton 0, West Ham United 1. I've got a feeling this curse of 11 years or 12 years is going to end. And it's going to end on Saturday, basing off of what was a positive performance on Wednesday night. I'm going to put the goal down to a header from Thomas Souček. I feel like he's due one. Knock one in from a corner. Declan Rice puts it on his noggin and he lobs it in just in front of that away end, and we all go mental. Gary?
Absolutely. Well, I think Brighton will score once, but I think we'll score 3 times.
3-1?
3-1. I think basically we're going to go 1-0 up quite early on through Danny Ings. They will absorb a lot of pressure. They'll eventually throw too many bodies forward, allowing us to counter-attack and get our second through Benrahma. And then we'll score a third through Souček. Souček's due a goal as well. 3-1 at hands.
Yeah. Well, there we go. I like the positivity. Gary is smashing the bogey team with a 3-1 victory down at the Amex on Saturday. So Saturday 3 o'clock, a rarity, Gary.
Absolutely, very good. Yeah, so it's quite local for me as well. So less than a couple of hours, straight down the M27 over there. Lovely jubbly.
Exactly. Gary's at the wheel. We know how good does it feel. I don't know the rest of that crap song. So, up the Gary.
Absolutely. I'm on the wheel.
Let's take some of your predictions. And I have a feeling we will win 2-1, 1-1. Oh, a little bit apprehensive. 1-1. Arthur, I hope you are well. Brighton 2, West Ham 0. Of course, Leeds fan definitely doesn't want us to win. But Chris says, I think we can sneak a 1-0 or 2-1 win. Will be a tough one. I agree, mate. Yeah. Something like that. Fearing the worst, hoping for the best. Need to see the team for prediction. Yeah, obviously, Saturday last night, we weren't quite sure at all what Moyes was going to put out. But I feel like if he wants to build on what we had on Wednesday night, we should see a similar lineup to what we got at 6:45 last night. So, that's what I'm hoping for at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Something similar, as we said, just with those couple of minor tweaks. Robert says a draw is good enough because I think all the teams around us will lose. Arthur says, hope the bottom 3 go down: Southampton, Bournemouth and Everton. I still think it's too close and too tight and too unpredictable to send any team down at the moment. It's all still up in the balance, and I think we're going to wait a good few weeks to sort of dismiss the first team. It's really, really tight down there.
The confidence must be really down at Southampton to lose at home to Grimsby last night. That can't do them any good at all.
Yeah. Arthur says, I think Leeds will nick a point against Chelsea. If you play well and play positively, then you in with a chance, because Chelsea are. Well, who knows? Who knows? Let's have a look here. Chris said, would you take a guaranteed point if you knew Leeds, Everton, Bournemouth and Southampton all lost this weekend? Hindsight, Gary.
Absolutely, definitely. I'll take 4 points for the next 2 games. Brighton and Villa, definitely.
Yeah. Zach, hope you're well, mate. Zach says we got to play with confidence to stand a chance against Brighton.
Absolutely,
We've got to have a sort of positive go at it, and we don't want to go down there and part the bus. Let's go with the same mindset we did on Wednesday night. Let's get Moyes, let's steer Moyes away from the negativity. Let's hit the left indicator and go down a bit of positive path, and we might get something out of it. You might surprise yourself, Moyes. You never know. But let's move on to some final thoughts then, Gary. A very good Brighton side, a West Ham side, finding some form. Let's have some final thoughts.
Yeah, like I said, I think he'll pick the same team as last night without Antonio and Fornells. I think he'll pick in Ings and he'll pick in Bowen. That's what I think he'll do. And I think, like I said, I'm feeling confident because I was between the boxes yesterday. I was impressed. We just, like I said, Jake, Aguirre can't play as bad as he did again. I mean, he had an absolute stinker the last 15, 20 minutes. And with Danny Ings up front, take those chances, we're in good shape.
Yeah, definitely. And I just think if we play the same way and if we've got the same, game plan to go about it, then I think we can pick something up. And there's some difficult games for the teams around us this weekend. Yeah. And Arthur's just put one of them into the chat. Bournemouth are taking on league leaders. Arsenal, I'm just having a look at what's coming up here.
Forest are playing Everton, aren't they?
I'm just having a look here onto the Sunday. Yeah, Forest has taken on Everton, of course, Liverpool United on Sunday. What do you do? But yeah, there's definitely some big games down there this weekend. Because you've got Bournemouth playing Arsenal, as I said. Wolves are at home to Tottenham. God knows what Tottenham are going to be like. And Chelsea are at home to Leeds. And Southampton at home to Leicester in there as well. So
yeah, so you've got 2 relegation battles: Saints, Leicester, and Forest, Everton.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea aren't scoring, so I fancy Leeds to get something there.
Yeah, so do I.
Potter must be really struggling. If he needs to win to ensure he gets a multi-million-pound severance pay, a couple of months off, and another job in a few months.
Exactly.
Life,
Happy days.
Yeah, tough life.
Yeah. he's had a tough few months, hasn't he? Yeah. Knowing that there's a 10 million payout waiting for him after another 2 losses. Exactly. Tough life. But just looking at those games, if this incredibly difficult and unpredictable Southampton side play 5:30 tea time kickoff tomorrow night on Sky Sports against Leicester. If Southampton can pull something out of the bag, which I wouldn't put past them because of how ridiculously unpredictable they are, that pulls Leicester right back down into it.
Yeah, Leicester aren't good defensively, and Ward-Prowse, if he gets a free kick,
Yeah.
But the thing with Saints, they've got nothing up front apart from Ward-Prowse. Is that Armstrong? Is it that plays up front?
Armstrong, yeah.
Yeah, he's nothing. So I think they're back in trouble. Saints, they can't score goals. I think they're going to go down.
Yeah, and I think as well with those 2 sides and Southampton that are just look at points void of ideas. I'm not quite sure the best result what we want there because Leicester are very quickly dropping like a stone there. Just looking at the table and how it stands currently, they are 14th and they are just 3 points off of that relegation zone. They've dropped right back down into it, and if they don't win on Saturday, then that brings them into it even more. So it's going to be another interesting weekend for affairs at the bottom and possibly the top of the Premier League table as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching this. But our match preview for West Ham versus Brighton. We'll have some match day content down from the Amex on Saturday. Gary, I'll see you on Saturday morning.
You'll see me Saturday morning. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you very much. I'll take these final comments. Like I said, knowing how well we played on Wednesday, giving a good game to a good United team at the moment, we should be confident. We'll leave it there. Absolutely. I agree. From us, coming to eyes, we'll see you Saturday. Thank you very much indeed. Down on the south coast, hopefully, let's have a rare good day down in Brighton. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.